Hello, good evening to the Dugout. We're just sleep away from the big India versus England series, and lots of action happening in England. We are far away from England in a beautiful place called Delhi NCR with beautiful weather. They're complaining there. I read that everyone is saying it's so hot in England, but wait till they come to Delhi NCR to really find out. But even though we might not be there, if you're a regular watcher of Sports Today, you would know that, like the hawk, our eyes will be on everything that happens during the. It's still called the Pataudi series?
No.
Or changed? Tendulkar Anderson. No, but then Sachin said that you.
But they'll have a medallion by the name of Pataudi.
Acha. So trophy is Tendulkar Anderson.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Tendulkar Anderson or Anderson Tendulkar.
Let's go alphabetically. A comes first.
Yeah.
Anderson.
And yeah, the medals for the winning side will have Pataudi engraved on it.
Side also I don't know. It was specifically mentioned captain's medal will be Pataudi medal. Now if the whole side is getting the same thing or not, that I'm not sure about.
Anyway, Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. So throughout the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy, 5 test matches. It's going to go, we're sitting in June, it's going to go till August. And we will be there giving you company throughout the series. 4th of August. It could be earlier if it's a 3-day test match, then 2nd of August, 4-day test match. But today what we're going to do, you know the drill. On the eve of any big game, any big series, we make up predictions. We will also try and make the 11 because it's going to be very exciting. It's the start of a new era. And what else will we talk about?
You tell us, we're seeing you after such a long time. The family members have
8 days, yeah.
waiting to get a glimpse of you. We've been bombarded with questions and queries over all these evenings.
I was on a well-deserved holiday. Thank you, Siraj, for
welcome back messages are here.
And where was I? I was on a holiday, as I said, at an undisclosed location.
Our family members require transparency. So you need to tell them where you were.
I was at an undisclosed location. But I must tell you that even while I was there, I was finding time to watch the WTC final. And I watched it. And can I tell you something very honestly? I thought I'll share it with our extended family. That the place that I was watching the WTC at a restaurant, I found one restaurant. Because where I was, there was no live telecast easily available. Neither on the phone nor on the television. But I found one restaurant which was very close to me, which had the live telecast there. And because that restaurant was part of the hotel that I was staying in, majority of the crowd there in the evening was that of Australians. So when I'm saying majority, I'm talking about 95%. So let's say if there are 100 people in that huge restaurant at any given point of time, 95 are Australians. Like
Who were you cheering for?
That's not the point.
You were cheering for Australia.
No, South Africa. I wanted head.
Yeah.
Head had said Australia will win. Heart wanted South Africa. But do you know 95% Australians,
Don't know the 11.
they weren't even wanting to watch. There were 3 TVs in that restaurant. 95% Australians were sitting on the remaining 2 TVs that were showing Aussie rules. You know what Aussie rules is? It's a form of rugby that is played in Australia, very popular. And so 95% of those Australians in those 2 different games of Aussie rules used to be on, different teams playing their own league like IPL for that. They're watching that. And there were, at any given day in those 3-4 days, there were 2 or 3 Aussies who would be watching the cricket. And I'd be with them. The rest of them, 90 or them, I'm just saying 90 as in if of the percentage, right? They're watching Aussie rules, not even looking at what's happening in the cricket test. And this is an Australian team playing.
Yes,
and I'm an Indian who's more keen in watching that, and they're not interested.
But it doesn't surprise us, right? We remember that famous image of Pat Cummins reaching the airport with nobody to receive him after winning the World Cup, after silencing a crowd of over 100,000 in Ahmedabad. So we know that there are other sports that take precedence in Australia, but
No, but okay, other sport, like let's say if it's a regular match happening, I can understand. Like any regular match. This is a WTC final of the World Test Championship.
you remember
No,
when
but they don't really, because I remember this reel went viral on social media. There's this Australian influencer. He went out on the roads of Melbourne or Sydney, if I'm not wrong, and there he just picked out random people and started asking them Australian cricketers' names. It's Steve Smith, Pat Cummins, and nobody really knew.
Again, I'll give you a personal example. The 2015 Cricket World Cup final that happened in Melbourne, Australia, New Zealand, and there's a rivalry there as well. And I was going in a cab to the MCG to cover that final, and my taxi driver was an Australian. When I mean Australian, as in not an immigrant who's Australian, of European descent, just typical Australian. He's driving me, and when we were getting close to the MCG, obviously there was traffic because people had come in. And he's asking me, like, why is it so crowded here today? He said, I told him because it's a match. So he said, okay, maybe some cricket. So no, it's the final of the World Cup. Oh, who's playing, Mike? Yes. I said, Australia. And I don't watch. World Cup final. So I'm saying in India also there'll be very few people who don't watch cricket. But if India is playing a World Cup final, they would know that day that India is playing. He didn't even have any idea. So just to let you know, this is what happened.
of the many things.
Of the many things. Then I had a holiday.
Any sporting activity you did?
Yeah, I did some surfing.
How did that go?
It was good. It was good.
The place you went at, I think that's famous for surfing. Yeah.
Did you
Correct.
take to it like
Because of the waves that you get
Lots
there.
of people go there for a training course also over there. For
Yes,
surfing.
because the waves are very good there. A lot of Aussies come because in Australia you don't get that kind of wave, and the water is also cold. Whereas water here is nice and warm, so you can do it. But it's not
People
easy.
will figure out if we discuss more.
take to it like fish to water?
I did not actually. It's not easy. But also, like balancing is not my forte per se in general. So that's what I did. Anyway, let's get back to cricket after the holiday is done. You're rejuvenated. Your cells are charged, and I'm looking forward to this 5 Test match series, as I'm sure all of you are. I know Shashwat is, because morning rap for 8 minutes, for 5 minutes he kept saying Test series starting tomorrow, big day for Shubman Gill, it's starting, crucial day, Shubman Gill.
Is indeed fired up at the moment, because
More than IPL.
not more than IPL, nothing excites him as the IPL does, but I've seen a thing with Shashwat, and I think that's to do with, because there's so many players of his age and around that mark, he gets very excited whenever the team's in transition. There's a young breed of cricketers you're looking at that really gets Shashwat going, so he's excited about seeing the young lot.
So what-
Quoting you, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
What are we looking forward to? What is the 2 or 3 things that you're most looking forward to? Let's start with your number one thing.
Number one thing for me personally, because I think for me it's definitely Shubman Gill's captaincy. I'm really excited to. I'm really excited.
I would have never guessed.
I'm really looking forward to the fact that how he actually captains, because there was a question in the press conference as well. He hasn't really ever captained, be it his state side. When he used to play under 14, under 16, it used to be Abhishek Sharma who used to lead the charge. Then when he made that transition into the Indian under 19 team, it was Prithvi Shaw who was the captain in the majority of the times. As soon as he became this brand, as soon as he became the prince per se for Indian cricket, that is when he started to be looked at as a future captaincy prospect as well. So we have never really seen Shubman Gill captaining. We don't know what see, Joss Butler in a very recent podcast that I was looking at, he called Shubman Gill a mixture of Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli. So I'm really looking forward to that. Personality wise,
Sounds
is
familiar.
what he said.
Yeah.
That is what he said. Exactly.
Has your man been sent to England or not now? He's reading rumors that
Yeah. All these Bollywood handles I saw, they had done a good
he's
job.
BCCI has called him for England tour to be part of the squad.
he also invited a couple of people home from the squad.
No, arre, Sasha.
When we are talking about mixture of whatever.
Okay. No. He hasn't. He is.
There's only one person who's a mixture of Dhoni and Rohit.
Yeah. So, just getting back to Shubman Gill, Joss Butler said that he's a very good blend of Rohit Sharma's calmness and Virat Kohli's aggression. So I'm really
Too early, no? But
yeah, very early. But
IPL is very different types of captaincy.
And also there you have a lot of help from the coaches. We've seen in IPL, I won't say that it's totally down to the coaches, but in the IPL, definitely I feel the role of the coaches is much more as compared to the Indian cricket team. Because in Indian cricket team now, from Gautam Gambhir, we have heard it a lot of times that he realizes this fact and acknowledges it, that it is the team of the captain. My job is just to support Shubman Gill in that sense. So that is something I really want to see, the glimpses from Shubman Gill, because he's very young in that sense, hasn't really left a mark. He's getting that captaincy. He understands that this is a transitional phase and he needs to sort of step up himself personally as a batter as well. So how he leads that, how he's going to use those bowlers, I'm really interested to look at the tactics that he uses in Test cricket.
Shubman Gill's captaincy, number one point that he's looking forward to.
So many things that are on my mind. I think the most crucial, besides of course Shubman Gill's captaincy, I think I'm looking very closely at KL Rahul. He is not in the make or break stage of his career anymore. He's 32, 33.
But he's perpetually in make or break.
No,
situation.
I think at 33 you don't make or break your career.
No, but I'm saying he's still in that situation where, people will be saying, oh, good tour, he'll give himself more test matches. Bad tour, or maybe,
that's
you look beyond
so
him.
why I say it's not make or break, it's either about cementing some sort of legacy that you can in the, he's in the not twilight, he's in the second innings of his career. KL Rahul is no longer in the first innings of his career, he's in the second innings of his career, and now for him it becomes very crucial, because he will have more eyes on him for the very first time, because there isn't going to be the presence of a Rohit and a Virat. He is in this young side that's going through a transition, a very vital cog. So it's important for KL Rahul, before this becomes the last test series of his career. I don't see him. Look at Karun Nair as well. He's making a return in his early 30s to the test setup. Once you're gone out of the scheme of things now, I don't see a batter coming back into the test side. Also because he's not a one format player, as we know. He's a very good ODI player. He will continue to play T20 cricket. So he's not the Rahane and the Pujara out there. He is a brand of his own. He's a player of his own. And I think this series either helps him cement his place as a senior professional of this Indian team, or it perhaps could just be curtains for him if it doesn't go his way. I don't think there's going to be a lot of time you're going to persist with him beyond the 5 matches.
Make or break, he's perpetually in make or break. He's in life, his life has been like that, and I'm not saying that he's unlucky.
Increases. I feel this is...
No, he's been captain also. Imagine how much responsibility. No, he was looked at. He was vice captain, looked at, next captain.
The previous captain went to the BCCI and also said that I think you should make him the vice captain and groom him, and Rohit Sharma was the vice captain.
And that as well, one thing we know, with Shubman Gill being given the captaincy and vice captaincy being given to Rishabh Pant, is that KL Rahul is not being looked at anymore.
I'm not saying that.
So much is past him. Now this is just about ensuring that you have some sort of a you're looked at as a respectable test cricketer whenever you look at.
That was his own thing. No, he could have been looked at as a respectful test cricketer had he held on to his chances. He had too many chances. He's let go of that. That's what I'm saying. It's unfortunate also that he perpetually finds himself in this precarious position where he doesn't know whether he will be a long-term player or not, or whether this is his last series. And that's unfortunate, because with that kind of mentality you really can't be giving your best. But again, at the same time, while that is unfortunate, he's the one to be blamed. He had many chances, they stuck with him. Had he been consistent with his performances, he would have been a sure shot starter for the team. That's not been the case. The one thing that I'm looking forward to, the one thing that I'm most looking forward to is getting to know my batting order. For majority of India's test match cricket in the last 2 to 3 decades, you always had a fixed batting order. When I talk about fixed batting order, I mean if you're playing 6 batters or 7 batters, you pretty much knew your 5 guys in which order they'll be playing. It was just a 1 or 2 player, maybe a opener gets changed, maybe another player comes in at number 4, 5, something like that. But you pretty much had a fixed batting order, whether it was the generation of the Saurav Gangulys, VVS Lakshman, Sachin Tendulkar, Dravid, or even after that, where you know, when Virat Kohli had really cemented his place and there was an MS Dhoni and Ajinkya Rahane, Cheteshwar Pujara, you pretty much knew what your batting order was going to be.
Minus this BGT maybe, where you had that whole Rohit
That's
thing.
what I'm saying, because you're in a flux, so you didn't know, but you got a glimpse of it, let's say, versus England last year here, where you had a pretty much fixed batting order. 1 or 2 slots would open up and one player would come in, whether it was Sarfraz or a Jurel or whatever. Or a Padikkal on certain occasion they came in. Now it's really opening up the batting order. It's really opened up. Your KL Rahul, Jaiswal will open and Gill will fit in there and a Pant will fit in there. But remaining, you know, you're putting your pieces together. You don't even know whether you will go with the batting all-rounder, bowling all-rounder. So there's so much to do. Only thing we found out is Gill is at 4. That's it. And we probably know our opener in Yashasvi, Jaiswal and KL Rahul.
1, 2, 4, 5.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So we know 1, 2, 4, 5, but if you're playing 7, we don't know pretty much what the idea is. What is really interesting is, so I really want to know, and we'll get to the 11 a little later, but the larger thing, I really want to know what is India's batting lineup going to look like, because captain, whether he gets a long rope or not, or captains may come, or captains may be changed going forward, but the batting order pretty much needs to be a stable one at the core if you want to do well in test match cricket. And I think that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to, starting from
Okay, so
the
before
first
we
test
dive
match.
into that, since that press conference of Shubman Gill took place just about half an hour back, he touched upon what the make of the team could be, and he said that we are possibly looking at a scenario where we're playing 6 batters, all-rounder, 3 to 4 pacers.
No, I think, and that's why I said, I mean, I'll get to the 11 a little later and maybe dwell on what Shubman Gill has said. But if you ask me, I think Shubman Gill has kind of told you his 11 in that particular answer. I mean, there are a few things, and I'm just going to add on to the few things. One thing that he mentioned, that you need to be taking 20 wickets to win a test match, and we realize. So I think what he means to say is that they will focus on bowling and they will go for an out and out bowling attack. If they want to see 2 previous captains that have done that well, as in focused on their bowling, it has been Rahul Dravid and it has been Virat Kohli to that extent, where you played 4 fast bowlers or out and out 5 bowlers. I remember, and these are 2 captains that tasted success in England. You had under Rahul Dravid, you won that series, and with Virat Kohli, you drew that. You had drawn that series.
You took advantage and then you leveled things.
Yeah, and then you leveled the things, and then you ended up losing it. But I mean, 2 good series that you've had have been under captains in England, where you've really focused on your bowling. So I think that is something that Shubman Gill has kind of given away in his pre-match press conference, where he said that I need to take 20 wickets, which is telling me that there is a possibility he will play 5 out and out bowlers. There's a good chance. He also in that mentions a bowling all-rounder. I know there's a debate between Nitish Reddy and Shardul, but I'm taking his word for it. If he said a bowling all-rounder, I think he's tilting towards Shardul, unless he's been, he's not realized what he said, but he did mention bowling all-rounder.
Unless there's that bowling all-rounder, batting all-rounder mix-up that he made.
Yeah, whatever. But I think with what he has said is a bowling all-rounder. So if I'm going to take that, plus he said we'll play 3 or 4 fast bowlers apart from that.
Just sticking with what exactly he said, 6 batters clearly mentioned, and I'm guessing the 6th will be then your wicketkeeper batter in this case, or 6 batters. 7th he says is an all-rounder, bowling all-rounder, and then leaves you with 4 players only, and he said 3 to 4 bowlers.
No, there could also be a possibility. What he means is that you go in with 4 fast bowlers, and in the all-rounder slot you go in with Shardul. That gives you 5 out and out fast bowling options.
There is a possibility,
That
but he said
Jadeja.
between 3 or 4 fast bowlers.
That is excluding the bowling all-rounder.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
excluding the bowling all-rounder can mean that there could be a possibility where Jadeja also
No.
might miss out. Could be a possibility.
yeah, could be. But
Yeah.
the other possibility could be that by a bowling all-rounder, he's referring to a Jadeja. And then on top of that, he takes 4 fast bowlers.
That means Jadeja, Shardul, and then your 3 fast bowlers.
Yeah.
He said 3 to 4 pacers.
Yeah, that's what I said. So he said 3 to 4 pacers and a bowling all-rounder. And a bowling all-rounder could even be a Jadeja.
Yeah.
So then he becomes a bowling all-rounder, in which case then you go with 3 or 4 fast bowlers. Out and out fast
3
bowlers.
out and out,
then
and then
Nitish
your
Reddy. Then if you
Shardul.
go with 3 fast bowlers,
Plus
then
a
maybe
Shardul.
Nitish Reddy fits in. But I don't think that is happening, because he will definitely need 5 out and out bowlers. And if that is the case, then 4 fast bowlers and Jadeja, or 3 fast bowlers, Jadeja and Shardul.
I think that.
I think.
Yeah,
more
that
like-
that
I'm
seems
sort
to
of
be the
tempted.
possibility.
Also, Shardul scored that 100 as well in the intra-squad match.
No, I mean that apart. I'm saying these.
If you need
they are
any
not.
reaffirmation,
Yeah, but
If you're
they're
not sure about your batting, you were tilting towards Nitish Kumar Reddy, then that 100 definitely helped the.
no. I think
confusion.
more than 100. There is no like for both Nitish and Shardul Thakur, in the sense that whether you've shown form or not is a separate thing, but you are really not competing against each other. It's what I'm looking at. If I'm really looking at batting stability and less on bowling, then I'll go with Nitish Reddy. But if I'm looking at more of bowling and then batting, I'll go with Shardul. Form aside, I'm saying no. There's no direct replacement to a Shardul. There's no direct replacement to a Nitish Kumar Reddy, and your fast bowlers are completely separate in your spinner. So I think that's what he's going to be doing. Okay, since we are talking about the 11 and we've spent talking about it, let's try and make our 11, and as always, that is the most interesting
we
bit.
also have a look at the image that we've had access to, the pitch on offer.
Okay, let's see what the.
If I don't know if that changes our mind, but let's have a
that
look.
won't change our mind. It'll more. Yeah.
Okay, till the time he is ready and brings up the image,
Okay.
can we get down to the
11.
Shivam? We will need the.
Yeah, there it
Thank
is.
God. I thought I'd gone on a holiday and it's just forgotten. Okay, let's quickly.
Let's lay the ground rules then. This is what we think we would have done, or what India would have done,
No, make your team.
or India will do rather.
What you will play?
What is your team? We want to know your team. What India will play will be very easy for most people to figure it out. I want to know your team. Okay, we have the latest image. As I said, we'll keep a hawk's eye on whatever is happening there in Headingley. So these are the latest images that we are getting from Headingley. Yes.
I think we had this discussion yesterday also, that what should be the approach England should be taking, and I think they really want to give best bowling conditions to their bowlers, because when it comes down, see, as soon as they give flat batting tracks, I think they will be in a catch-22, because then when it will be a competition between the two bowling sides, whichever team bowls better on flat conditions will go on and have the edge, and in that sense then I think India has a much better fast bowling unit. But as soon as they give fast bowling conditions, then I think it will, then all the bowlers will get equal help, then it won't make much of a difference, because there will be a lot of help, and then it will come down to the batting, and then the Indian batting definitely does not have that much experience, and they also lack that confidence, whereas the England batters I think will somehow manage to get a score of 250, 300, and then India might struggle. So for them it's definitely going to be a gamble, but it would be a safer thing to do, that they go in with green conditions where they can really exploit the conditions and not let the Indian batter score. But that can only happen if the weather permits so, and the weather does not seem like permitting so, because see, even if there is grass, we saw it in the first India A game as well, England Lions versus India A, where it looked like that there is a lot of grass covering on the wicket, but it was flat batting track. When Karun Nair also got their double 100, Sarfaraz got those 90 odd runs. So it will all boil down to what the overhead conditions are, and the overhead conditions suggest that it's not going to be really tough batting, and it's not going to swing as much as we are expecting it to swing in Headingley.
From whatever little that we could gauge from the curator said that you're only looking at some sort of bowling assistance on day one. The surface gets better to bat on progressively, and this is what England have asked for. He said that the preparation for this wicket had to be quote unquote of a different kind, and he was told to ensure that there's a pitch on which batters can hit the ball through the line. So that tells me you're looking at some runs being scored, if not on day one, but progressively.
See, I mean,
And this is, as is the case, this is just to hold the pitch together and keep the moisture intact. This will get a further trim tomorrow.
yeah, that's what I was trying to get to, that the pitch is definitely not going to be looking like this tomorrow. What I hear is that you'll just have 8 mm of grass, which is very normal. In fact, on a lot of occasions, we saw that in Australia as well, 8 mm of grass, and you had a lot of runs being scored there too. I know different overhead conditions. So firstly, the pitch this is still match day -1. Pitch will look a little bit more browner come the match day. And the reason I think they've left this much grass is primarily because of the heat that I'm hearing that you're getting there. And there has been a lack of rainfall. I think from Feb onwards, they've hardly had any rain here. So lack of rainfall, and because of lack of rainfall, there's dryness all around. And to hold the pitch together, you have to leave the grass, and you will shave it right before the game starts. Because if you shave it well in advance, then there's a chance that the pitch cracks open up. It really opens up and becomes very tough to bat on later. I think what England would want is great batting conditions. So I don't think England's going to be heading towards good bowling conditions. They no longer have Anderson Broad. They have a young bowling lineup. They are going to dominate teams with batting. And anyway, we've seen in England, that's been their mantra since they've adopted baseball, for a lack of a better word, whether you like it or not. Since they've adopted that, they've tended to have better batting condition, and I'm not surprised that England have asked for good batting conditions. I think that is what they would want. If you see what happened in Australia as well, the first test match that India won at Perth were probably not the best batting conditions, but from where on, when you started getting a lot of runs from there on in test matches from there, so you saw how Australia continued to dominate by piling on more runs, and India thereon began to struggle getting those many runs. So I feel that England would also want to do that, beat India by getting major runs, like lots of runs, get a lot of runs, and India hoping that their inexperienced batting lineup collapses. Leeds also has done that. My mind again takes me back to that legendary test match where India declared 2002. They piled on the runs. Yeah. So that tends to happen. So to repeat, don't worry about the color of the pitch. The grass is going to go away. It will be an amazing track to bat on, and you will have to put on lots of runs to win here, and I think that's what England is banking on.
Interesting, in fact, since you take us back to 2002, you've only played there twice in the last 2 decades. Since the turn of the century, we've had 2 India-England matches there. You had
innings
that one
defeat
both times. India also suffered an innings defeat,
and India beat them by
yeah,
I know that's one common thing.
But so as soon as they give good batting conditions, it wouldn't be because again the England batting lineup also does not inspire that much confidence, and the Indian bowling lineup is still. I'm saying in terms of the bowling lineup that they will be up against the Indian bowlers, they have a lot.
No.
Jasprit Bumrah, he will be on a flat wicket. No other bowler can extract anything, but Jasprit Bumrah can definitely do that.
Sure, but they are banking on their strength, which I think is batting. Right now, if you put the 2 teams together, India does seem to have an edge over England in terms of bowling because of the inexperience that England have at the moment. But look at the batting. I think they're going to rely on Ollie Pope getting a massive 100 versus Zimbabwe. All of them, in fact, got 100 against Zimbabwe. So all coming into form. I think if you start from the top, the batting lineup, Zach Crawley, okay, not a great test career so far. Ben Duckett, again, can get you daddy hundreds, big runs. Ollie Pope, just now, 170 odd. You know how he can get a lot of runs. He's done it against India as well. Another batter will get, show shot run getter. Joe Root is there. Harry Brook, I know it's a young test career. I think 18-19 test matches he's played. but average is over 50 if I'm not mistaken. He's had an outstanding test match career. So there's Harry Brook. Jamie Smith, again inexperienced wicketkeeper batter, not really somebody who will get runs, but then with
there's Ben Stokes as well.
There's Ben Stokes, there's Chris Wokes also who can get a lot of runs. So I mean, batting wise and in English conditions, you have to say England, batting at the moment with a lack of experience in the Indian batting line, it does look better. So I think you'll get a batting pitch. The interesting bit here will be, and see, that is why Shubman Gill is also going that way. Where Shubman is said in the pre-match press conference that, listen, we need to get 20 wickets. He knows that. He knows that good batting conditions, and that's not to say that Indian batters cannot get runs. Maybe Yashasvi Jaiswal comes to the party, or Shubman Gill. But
that's what I'm trying to. That's
not how England
Yashasvi
plays.
Jaiswal, as soon as you give good conditions. See, I remember we were just before you had gone, we had this dugout where we talked about this fact. Yashasvi Jaiswal. We talked about the fact that his playing style might not suit English conditions. But as soon as they start giving him flat batting tracks, Yashasvi Jaiswal single-handedly can change the game in just a session or two. So that's a gamble then that they're taking. And then Indian fast bowlers.
That's how you're thinking, Shashwat. England does not think like that. England believes. Even if you saw how they played in India, and India beat them at their own game, but their belief is this. Their philosophy is this, that we are a better batting team.
Yeah.
Whether they are not on that given day is another thing. But I think, again, seeing from their point of view, it will be very negative to think, oh, Yashasvi can take the game away from us, so let's give bowling condition. I think that'd be negative.
While it's true
at the moment,
that it gives,
no, but that way even a Gill can take the game away anyone.
So they're not worried about giving a young Indian batting lineup some sort of room or some sort of, leaving the door ajar for them or giving them some sort of an opening to get their eye in. What they're doing actually is they're strengthening they're backing themselves. They're working on their own strength.
Yeah.
They're not worried about giving the opposition an eye in. That's fine.
They're saying, no problem, you get runs, no problem, you get runs. But we will get runs quicker and better and in a better manner than
more
you. So,
impactful.
yeah, we'll do it. I think that's their approach. You'll see the pitch also like that. And again, which is why I think the toss will be very crucial. So the general trend that we've seen in England is put the opposition in. You saw it in WTC also. It really worked for them. There's a bit of juice. The only time the bowlers will get some juice, and even though that will disappear very quickly, maybe within 2-3 hours, maybe by the first lunch break itself, I don't know, or maybe slightly more than that, but that's the only time bowlers will get some sort of advantage. After that, it's going to be very good for batting. And then, as you know, one other thing you've seen in England, fourth inning chases are not bad at all. My mind takes me back to when India went to play that 5th test match as well, in that
record score that they scored.
in this, they chased it down. So in that sense, chasing is not a bad deal there, which is in subcontinent and all, you're worried like, oh, 4th innings, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. In England, it's tended to become the best time to bat. So you don't mind chasing and you want to take advantage of bowling first and extract some juice. So teams are doing that.
Look at what England have done in this baseball era. The last 2 times that they played here, they played Australia and New Zealand. Both times they were lucky enough to win the toss and they opted to chase.
Yeah.
And they won as well.
So I think both
conditions will get better and better as the days progress.
So that's why I think toss could be crucial, as we saw at WTC. Let's see what happens here. Let's get down to our 11s then. Now you know the pitch. It's going to be a good batting paradise. Don't be fooled by the grass or the green cover that you see right now. What's the team that's going to be like? So let's write our openers in KL and Jaiswal. Okay. So you've got that out of the way without any doubt. Number 4, let's quickly write Shubman Gill, since he himself has confirmed that he is going to be there. Number 4, Rishabh Pant, your vice captain at number 5, also confirmed. He came and said that as well. Okay, you could write, I don't know, at number 9, Jasprit, Bumrah, or 10, wherever. Bumrah at 10.
9 maybe. Yeah,
okay,
9.
10, give him at 10. Give Bumrah at 10.
11, Siraj.
Siraj at 11. I don't think there will be any doubts about that. Okay.
Jadeja at 7.
I mean, yeah, I would definitely have him.
Of course.
Yeah, so Jadeja at 7. Yeah. So this is pretty much everyone's going to go. Okay, let's finish off with a third fast bowler, because all of us will have a third fast bowler. Whether we have 4 or 3 is another thing, but 3 minimum. So who's your third fast bowler?
Prasidh.
Yeah, for me also, no brainer. Prasidh Krishna.
For me, I'll play Arshdeep Singh, because I think just the conditions will be a little more helpful
So
for
you
Arshdeep.
have to pick
I'll
your
pick
team.
for me the third fast bowler is going to be Arshdeep Singh. I know Prasidh Krishna is really impressed with the ball in Australia as well, but I'm just nothing to take away from Prasidh. I think as far as skill set is concerned.
No, we have to have a vote, Shivam. Poor guy has picked Arshdeep. I have picked Prasidh. I don't.
Just the fact that I feel that Arshdeep, I think skill set wise, both of them are equally equipped to play Test cricket. Just on the basis of conditions, because I need a bowler who can swing the ball, I'll go with Arshdeep. But if this would have been Australia, I would have gone with Prasidh. So nothing like that. Just.
I mean, looking at the performances in the warm up, also, I think Prasidh did better than Arshdeep.
But Arshdeep wasn't there.
Yeah.
Ace team. But we don't know about the intra-squad game. No?
Intra-squad we saw, no? You didn't see?
No, I exactly. I don't know how much.
He did better than Prasidh picked up in intra-squad also wickets. And then of course the A game as well. And let's not forget, I mean, again, you can argue with the conditions. Just as we argue for a batter, like if someone is picked up, scored an 80 or 90, you say no, you can't drop him for the next match. I think he picked up 6 wickets in the final Test match that
Sydney.
he played. Sydney.
I remember 4 in one.
Whatever. Yeah, I can't remember
good,
exactly, but he picked up a lot of wickets in that Test match, Sydney Test, the final Test. So if someone has done that, I mean, and has been in form.
Rashid Rana is also in the squad, though. You can.
No, that is in the squad, though, which is unfortunate. I thought that they could have kept Anshul Kamboj. But
Mukesh Kumar also is
Mukesh, no, but Mukesh is also right to be aggrieved.
As we see on his Instagram now.
Yeah, he put it out on his Instagram, but otherwise as well, because you're prepping him to be the next bowler, and he did decently well in the A tour.
I think it's that England series where he sort of
at home
when
he was hit all over by everyone.
But this one Test match, you just can't be 6 wickets for Prasidh Krishna in a Test match. If a person takes 6 wickets in a Test match, you cannot not play him in the.
Why is the same thing that's happened with Sarfaraz? I'd say because you just preconceived notion that you think that he can't do well, so you just don't want to play him anymore.
Anyway, that's that. He's not there in the squad. Yeah, so I'm going with Prasidh. 6 wickets in the last Test he plays for India, and did well in the lead up to show enough form in England. So he comes.
Well, I think going forward, I'm going to be a greater backer of Arshdeep Singh, and I really wanted him in this squad as well. Delighted that he's there. The conditions and since it's not the Leeds of the past where you see some sort of resistance, and now that we know about the wicket, I think preserving him for later on in the series, Arshdeep Singh, it looks like a better call, and I'm going to be doing that as we move forward in the series. Tomorrow, I'd like to see Prasidh. I think the conditions will help him a little more than Arshdeep can extract. Also, it's going to be the first time that he plays Test cricket. Why not land him in conditions which are going to be suiting him much more?
Okay, so we've, with our common consensus, have got our third fast bowler in Prasidh Krishna. Okay, now to our numbers 6, 8 and 3. Let's start with 3 now.
Okay.
And let's deal. No, we don't need to see the squad. Yeah, Shivam, we have it in our heads now. Who's your number 3?
Mine's Karun Nair then. Yes, there's a bit of an injury concern, but notwithstanding that, if he's fit, then he has to be there.
And then who's your number 6 in that case?
Number 6.
You could even see. I've just heard. There's no surety that you could play Washington Sundar at 6 because the conditions suggest.
But now that you've got 5 bowlers, because 8 will be your bowler, no? Will you go with 6 bowlers?
No, you're not treating him as a bowler. You're just treating him as a.
Might as well play a batter, no? That's the problem that you had in Australia. That's what you kept doing. Yeah. That's what you kept. This one I'll treat him like this, I'll treat him like that. You've got proper batters in your team, whether they are part of the 11 or not, but they're part of the squad. So if there is a slot open, see, if you had 4 bowlers, let's say Jadeja was at 8 and you needed to pack in batters, then maybe yes, Washington comes in as a 5th bowling option. And I think that's the biggest mistake that India made in the Australia series, where you were not going in with 5 bowlers, and that's why you struggled at times to pick up those 20 wickets and lose. I'm glad to hear Shubman Gill, and I like what Shubman Gill, his pre-match press conference was very good, really enjoyed listening to it, because he was sure, he knew exactly what he wanted. So if the indications are right, and I hope that's the way it is, the mistake India made at BGT of making teams with like domestic or beg your pardon, white ball mentality, I think that needs to go away. He showed to me that he had test match mentality. Play 5 bowlers, proper bowlers, play rest of them as batters. He gave that indication that he's going down that road, which is good. The other thing that he spoke, which I really liked, is like, you need to give surety to players, you need to give them confidence, you can't keep them, hanging and make them feel insecure. I hope he can walk the talk, because a lot of time captains have said it but eventually not followed it up. So I hope he can walk the talk. But if he does,
in fact, that's the
and whatever he said, I'm liking
from
it.
him now. Couple of times, be it those videos that BCCI puts out or the first press conference that happened as well, the word security is something that he's mentioned time and again, that players need to feel safe. It's about creating that right environment. But totally agree with you.
Yeah,
it's easier said than done.
So if 3
also
is,
because Karun, let's
who's
take
just
into
6?
consideration, then it has to be Jurel. It has to be Jurel also, because he did well. He made his mark against England. Let's not forget. And
he's got runs against.
He got
India
runs, and
8.
he got, I think, just one match in the BGT. But now you're looking at him as a proper bat as well, and he showed that he has the gumption to last in the middle for a considerable time. Also because Karun Nair, I don't want to shift him to number 6. That's too late a position, I think, for him. You look at that double 100, he was batting at number 3 in the second match. Then he batted at number 4. So you were only looking at Karun Nair get absorbed in either the 3rd or the 4th slot, not at number 6.
No, I mean, I'm okay with that. But the problem then comes, will they risk playing a Jurel? I mean, I like what your team is, and I could back that. But I have a feeling that they might play someone like a Nair at 6 in between a Sai Sudharsan and a Shashwat's favourite.
He's not.
Abhimanyu Easwaran at 3.
For me,
but to be fair, and that's not saying that I'm picking him, but to be fair, if you are thinking one between Sai Sudharsan and Abhimanyu Easwaran, then ideally Abhimanyu Easwaran should start ahead of him.
Ideally, yes.
He should.
But ideally in BGT also, as soon as Rohit Sharma wasn't there, ideally Abhimanyu Easwaran should have opened.
Yes.
But you didn't do that.
No, I agree. But I'm saying because he's been ahead on that
But he's been ahead
pecking
since
order,
2018.
he's got a lot of domestic performances behind him, and so you're going with him. Whereas Sai Sudharsan did very well in white ball in IPL, and you're all excited about it, and it's okay that you've seen potential, you got him in the test squad, but he can only be a second option. Like let's say an Easwaran doesn't get runs, then you go with a Sai Sudharsan, and that's how it should be. But if you're going to leapfrog and get a Sai Sudharsan directly, to be fair, the numbers that he has in red ball cricket, Sai Sudharsan, I'm not going to be putting him directly into the 11. It does not inspire confidence. So I'm happy to go with Karun Nair at 3 and a Jurel at 6.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah, I'm happy to go with that because that way we can hear from him, but he is now outvoted. But we want to know your opinion. Why I'm saying that way, because this batting lineup now has some test match experience. Karun Nair comes with that.
Yes.
And so does Jurel. Comes with that. He's played in India, he's played in Australia, and now he's going to be playing in England. Some sort of experience you need. So this actually is a batting lineup that I like more than anything else.
I'd personally go with Sai Sudharsan at 3 and then Karun Nair.
How does he go ahead of Abhimanyu Easwaran?
The only reason why he goes, I have always been the biggest backer of Abhimanyu Easwaran. But
that's okay, but I'm asking you.
Yeah, my only thing now is I feel that the team is in a transitional phase. Abhimanyu Easwaran isn't. He's not even in his 30s, if I'm not wrong. He's 28 or 29. But still, I think the time has passed for him. But there were too many occasions when you should have played Abhimanyu Easwaran.
If his time is, why is he in the squad? Why is he playing warm-up game? Why is he?
He can still aim for a 6-year career.
Yeah.
He's a one format
No,
guy,
if
right?
time is done, if let's say you're thinking, if the Indian team thought like that, then he shouldn't have been selected in
But
the squad.
So the Indian team has thought about this.
Then
I
why
think
is he
it's a very
selected?
I also never get it. Why is he selected? Because you have decided you're hell bent on not playing him. I again go back to the 2018 or 2021 England tour where he was there. You had to call openers from India, despite the fact that Abhimanyu Easwaran was there in the squad, and you still didn't play him. So this has happened a lot of times. Abhimanyu Easwaran. I think that's a absolutely different case study. I'd really want to research and go in depth at what exactly was the problem with Abhimanyu Easwaran, that he's been there in the squad so many times. There have been so many
But
occasions.
things can change now.
where you should have played him.
You said this time he won't even get selected in the squad. He got selected, so maybe he
That is
can.
very good. That is a very good thing for him. And I think at the very beginning, a couple of weeks back, when the Indian team had just reached, I think there were reports, credible reports in that sense, which suggested that maybe there is going to be a toss-up between Sai Sudharsan and Abhimanyu Easwaran, where Gill wants Sai Sudharsan and Gautam Gambhir wants Abhimanyu Easwaran. So if he gets that baggy blue, I'll be the happiest person. I'll
Do you think it makes a difference that the captain of the Test team is also his IPL captain? And that
it does. See,
no, I'm not saying unfairly.
No,
Sometimes what happens, you played with someone and you start believing in him.
100%.
Absolutely.
And so you think, no, yeah, he
200%.
saved me on so many occasions. He's the guy I
So
trust.
Manpreet, Goni and on, they were all playing alongside Dhoni, and we saw what happened, right?
No,
that's it
100%
happens.
true.
If you're within close proximity, if you're in the, I think it makes a difference.
This is not just close proximity. They have been batting partners together, then there's a very big possibility they'll have to be that again for this whole Test series. You never know. So he has that trust. He would be relying on a Sai Sudharsan as well. So for me, that's the only, and I'm looking at a long-term option in Sai Sudharsan. I think Abhimanyu Easwaran should have been part of the Indian team on a regular basis. He should have played. If he goes on and plays tomorrow, I'll be really, really happy for him. If he gets that baggy blue, finally it'll be worth the wait. But I feel, I also personally, I would have played him for many past series. But now that I'm in a transitional phase and I'm looking at the future, 5, 7, 10 years in that sense, the legacy spot number 3, I'd want to give that chance to Sai Sudharsan, because I personally feel that he has that in him to be an all format player for India in the years to come. So just that, on that basis, I want him to get started as soon as possible.
So our team is this for now. You can see it. That's only because we do a democratic vote in where both Harshit and I agree that, get some experience in your batting lineup. That's why I get Karun to bat higher up the order. He has the experience and the technique. So let him be at 3. Jurel, who's played Test matches, did decently well in the lead up also in English conditions. Can be your number 6 batter. So this for us looks like an experience as well, a good batting lineup. But I think, and this is because we are picking our team, it's what we think is right. But having said that, I think the team that India might play will be the team that Shashwat is picking, which is they'll probably play a Sai Sudharsan at number 3 and then
Karun at 6.
Karun comes at number 6. This is
very
what the
strong
Indian
feeling
team
as well.
might do. But again, we're not predicting what the Indian team is doing. We're predicting what we think should be the best batting lineup
Also,
for
I
India,
think that there's one
given the
photograph-
resources that you have.
One photograph in which Sai was seen fielding in the slip
Slips.
cordon.
Yeah.
And not just that, lots of.
But we're not taking that into consideration.
Yeah.
We're going.
It's
But
we're
even
picking,
Abhimanyu Easwaran was one day fielding in the slip. So in that sense,
doesn't matter.
But
We're
lots of
not
people,
predicting
why
what the
they're
Indian
coming-
team is doing.
Yeah.
You're predicting what you think is best for India.
but lots of people, why they are also predicting this, that Sai Sudharsan could be at number 3, because what the training sessions over there suggest is that Gill and Sai Sudharsan are using the same nets in that sense. They're sharing a net. And why Shubman Gill was set to bat at number 4, why that also became a certainty, because Shubman Gill, as soon as he went to the nets, he was playing spinners first and then he was playing fast bowlers. So all of these things, I'm just looking them at.
Just to add to that, it was seen that KL Rahul and Jaiswal were also sharing the same net. So you take 10 balls, whatever, and regulars like a Siraj and a Prasidh were bowling at them, and then you had KL at the other end. Swap ends with Jaiswal.
And Prasidh batted for
they formed these
2 hours.
pairings.
Yeah, I mean, again, as I said, it's quite obvious now that the team might go with a Sai Sudharsan at 3 and a Nair at 6. But again, as I said, to repeat, we're trying to pick based on our own assessment, which is the best team for India under the circumstances. So our democratic voting suggests that this looks like the best team. And number 8, Shivam has an idea or two. Now what do? See, you have many options. You can get a Nitish Reddy at 6. Also
present 6 and 7 to 7 and 8.
Or push them to 7 and 8. You could get a Shardul Thakur at 8. You can get an out and out. You can go to Washington Sundar. You can get an out and out fast bowler in Arshdeep as well.
Arshdeep, Akashdeep,
whoever.
Akashdeep is, I think, why they've added Harshit Rana, that
injury,
maybe as a little bit nickel.
So I'm just saying you have multiple options. Now let's start with Shashwat because he got outvoted in the batting.
I think this time not going to get outvoted because Shardul Thakur, I think, clearly makes the cut. The way he's been performing with the ball in English conditions, plus he played he was set to play county cricket as well. Then he got signed in the IPL. Plus the runs that he gets, and he's tailor-made for English conditions. So without a doubt, I think he definitely is in my 11. I'm pretty sure in India's and yours also.
Yeah, so no debate there. Shardul Thakur at number 8 for all three of us.
I think he would have been there even had he not scored that intra-squad 100.
No, he wouldn't. In fact, if you remember during our discussion, I had said that he would have been part of BGT had he not been injured. I think that's the fast bowling all-rounder that they were looking at that time. Of course, he had the unfortunate injury. And he was
here favor him much more than they would have.
No, but it doesn't matter. He does not. It's not even about the condition. It's about what he offers. Right now, you do not have an option like that. That's why I was saying there is actually not a toss-up between Nitish Reddy and him because what they offer is completely two different things. So it's not going to be very similar. So this would what we think should be the best 11 for the Indian team. But as we've pointed it out earlier, this may not be the 11. You'll have changes with Karun Nair at 6 and Sai Sudharsan at 3. Okay, enough of the playing 11.
We can name 5 subs as well now that you have to do it.
No.
Concussion subs you have to name.
Predictions for the series.
I'll start. 3-2 in favour of England, but I think it's going to be a very closely fought series. I know lots of people are expecting 4-1 and this, that, warm-up series, people are calling it. But
no, but can I again point that out?
Did not say it in that.
Yeah, series. I think they have all misquoted him and misrepresented what he is saying. And multiple people have said it now. Including Graham Swan, and I think it was said by
he did not say that. He really did not
Atherton or someone, I'm forgetting. But what they're trying to say, see, you got to also understand. You got to understand. See, there is a context to it. You may like it or not.
They've got a bigger, therefore,
Ashes
the bigger fishes,
is the biggest series for them. And why just the English team, when India were playing the WTC final against Australia, Pat Cummins at that time had made it very clear that they're playing a WTC final, but their focus was Ashes.
It's a 6-match series for
us. Because of the history, the culture, the rivalry.
What's
for them
there
it
to
makes
be offended?
absolutely nothing to be
I
offended.
met a couple of people in office as well who were, that they're not out and out sports guys per se, but they're aware and they took similar offense
because media headlines it like that.
I myself did that story, but when I was listening to that bite to put it in there, I heard the whole thing and I realized that what he meant was he also went on to say that this is the perfect warm up in that sense. What he meant was that this is the perfect way to get ready for the Ashes.
And if you like it or not, it will be big for them. It is the biggest series for them. That's not to say that they are taking India lightly. In fact, Ben Stokes came out and said they're not taking them lightly at all. They're not taking the Indian team lightly. Just that the value associated with Ashes is a greater value.
The word warm, because you're just going by the pre-existing notion that the word warm up is attached to lighter teams and teams that help you prepare, like an England Lions
and if India's
or an India A feature in warm up matches, but that's not the context here.
Yeah.
And if India is set to play the T20 World Cup, they're playing South Africa or England or Australia before that, even we'll say that it's the perfect way to get ready.
But in this case, it's not just about a series before and you using it as a replacement for warm up. It is also making it very clear, and there's nothing wrong with it, that for them winning an Ashes will be greater than winning against India.
I think
so. It's not just about they're playing this before it that's an issue, and they're using warm up as a substitute for a series before. No, for them Ashes is bigger. You will like it or not, and you will see the crowd that will be here. You will have a lot of Indian fans that will fill the stadium. But if you actually look at a lot of English and Australian, or for the English fans, because it will be played in England, they'll fill stadiums for Ashes because it matters to them more.
No, this time I think it's Australia, no?
No, last time was.
No,
No,
last
time-
I'm
last
saying,
time they won,
I'm
yeah.
saying if the Ashes was going to be in
Yeah,
England, there'll be
WTC
more
final
people.
was proof. You had England had nothing, but still so many of the members had turned up. So many of the English community people had.
No,
turned
but I'm
up
saying
over there.
between any series, if there is an Ashes in England, people will flock to it. It's just massive for them. What's wrong with that? Maybe India, England for them is not big. A lot of Indian fans will turn up. For them, it's big. For England also big, but not as big as Ashes, and that's a reality. You like it or not. Okay, predictions. Yes, you said 3-2.
3-2, I think, very closely fought. I wouldn't be surprised if
But
India
in England's
somehow-
favour.
Yeah, in England's favour, because at the end of the day, I think they are a better team as of now as far as experience is concerned. But I won't be shocked if it is in favour of India as well, or the series ends up a draw. I'm giving the Indian team quite a high chance.
I'm going 2-2.
2-2.
Yeah.
You're giving higher chance than him. He's going 3-2.
I'm going 2-2. It's not an intimidating England, but it's not the best Indian team also. So I think that there are two very evenly matched teams at the moment. I don't see one being a favourite over the other. So I think 2-2 will actually be a fair result as well, and I'm keeping room for there to be a washout of sorts, as is the case in England at times. Maybe Manchester, who knows.
It's a. I mean, if I look at that entire series, for once I think it'll be a good high-scoring series. Lots of runs being scored. Looking at the two teams, there's England that have a clear advantage in batting. India go a bit inexperienced. But can I tell you again? I'm not one of those that are taking the Indian batting lineup without a Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli. I don't think that, as in Test match cricket, with what we've seen in the last few years, really affected the Indian batting lineup so much. So I think they will still go in with the best foot forward. Their bowling is also very good at the moment, especially whenever Jasprit, Bumrah is there. England's bowling really inexperienced and all of that. Yet there is a reason why England don't lose in England. Many teams have come and tried, and they've got an outstanding record. Many Indian teams have gone there in the past and gone with much stronger teams against weaker oppositions, and yet found it very tough. And while I see on paper, I think the Indian team also looks very good. It seems like a close contest, as Shashwat was mentioning. But I still feel that because it's in England, it's English conditions, the history, the experience, and all of that put together, I will pick England to win this. And I think it'll be 3-1 in England's favour. I think there will be a draw. India might come close to winning that Test match.
Exactly the same BGT
Yeah,
score.
yeah. So it could be. If it's not a draw, then it could be 3-2 with India winning another Test match. So I think that draw also India may come close. But overall, I think it will be England. See, because I think there will be one. If there's one draw, then you're left with two Test matches, and I don't think at the moment they're on even keel. So I can't do a 2-2. I think 2-2 will be expecting a little too much from this Indian team, and thinking that England won't perform. So in that sense, 3-1 seems to be the closest that I can get to. See, again, England scored a lot of runs. They've scored a lot of runs in different conditions. And if they have flat batting conditions, as you saw in Pakistan as well, this batting lineup, everyone got a lot of runs. And again, their bowling is weak, but again, what happens with weak bowling lineups, I made one prediction in 2011 against Australia also, with their weak bowling lineup, and I saw how that series panned out. India got hammered 4-0 with Siddle and Ryan Harris, doing the job for them. So in those three overseas conditions, it'll be tough for your batters. So let's see how it does
We're done with our predictions there.
pan out. Yeah, let's dive into the questions. We got Vishal Panchal. Okay, Vishal Panchal is saying Nikhil mentioned many Australians where he stayed. If I had to guess, he may have visited Fiji, Bali, or Vanuatu. Got curious to find the undisclosed. All I can say, Vishal Panchal, is that you're right. I'm not telling which option, but you're right. Mr. Shekhar GTN from the US again, he says, Nikhil, aren't people taking this Indian team too casually? No, but as you saw on our panel, we did not. I don't know about others. We did not take it too lightly. Shashwat has predicted 3-2. That means a very close series in England's favour, but also has said that who knows, maybe it could be 3-2 in India's favour too, he's mentioned. So I think his prediction is almost 50-50. Harshit has made a 50-50 prediction saying 2-2. So I don't think, at least we guys have taken them that lightly. And 3-1 for me also, on the face of it may sound one-sided, but you could have close test matches.
It could be exactly how BGT was, right?
Yeah.
If India had won Sydney, it was 2-2 then.
Yeah, and who knows with a fit Bumrah in Sydney what would have happened. So
Exactly.
maybe it'll be a series like that is what I think. Levis Trax has just sent us some love.
Wow.
So love back to him. Vishal Panchal says Kohli's fire won't be easy to replace. Let's hope Gill brings that same hunger and intensity, not a return to Dhoni era calm or laid back test captaincy.
Butler has told us right proportion of Virat's aggression and Rohit's calmness.
Well done then. What else do you need? What else does one need if he can be like that? But I think, he while it's going to be another thing that I was amazed to hear from Shubman Gill, he liked it, is like, he was asked IPL title or England, and he said England because IPL we play every year. England as captain, you may only get 2 shots in your entire career as captain.
That too if you're very good.
No, he said if very good, maybe 3. If you're not very good, he said if you're the greatest of your generation, you might get 3. But mostly 2 or even 1.
Very right.
So he's right.
Yeah.
2 or so. Win in England, I'll take it any day.
Yeah.
Very few captains have it.
The whole thing, why I think Shubman Gill has also been given the captaincy ahead of Rishabh Pant, and why he has different yardsticks and he's called the prince, is also because of the values that he has as a cricketer, the values that a cricketer should have. He has that good boy reputation. He also, I think his general value based system.
That's not to say that Rishabh Pant does not value
he does
test
not
cricket.
have it, but that's not to say that. But what I'm trying to say is that just he has that typical good boy sort of an image that an Indian cricketer does have in that sense. So that is, I think that those are all the things that play a
Did you
very
guys
big role.
get to know about the stock price of one of the ads he's recently signed for? One of the brands? Oh, it saw a good 18% rally or something. Famous shaving brand that we've seen the who's who of Indian cricket represent. Anyway, let's take Sadistic Sid's comment now. He says that India lose the series when they drop Sarfaraz Khan. It happened in Australia, yes.
No, that's all.
But he played New Zealand, you lost that one as well.
Correct. 50-50 strike rate of your prediction. Ankit Agarwal. How about Nitish and Shardul both? Yeah, that's a possibility. You could do that. Yashasvi, Jaiswal, KL Rahul. We've got Karun Nair, Shubman, Rishabh. Then he's got Nitish. Then Ravindra Jadeja, Shardul Thakur, Mohammad Siraj, Jasprit, Bumrah. Yeah, you can do it. So basically, for what we made, instead of Jurel, you've gone with Nitish Reddy. It was a possibility.
And instead of Prasid, he's gone with Arshdeep.
It's a possibility, absolutely.
I love mutton biryani. 2 of us here definitely do. He says that, she says. 2. Listening to Gill, looks like we're going with Kuldeep, Thakur and 3 pacers. Nearly all English pundits have given 0 chance to India. Hope we prove them wrong.
Kuldeep, not Jadeja. I don't think he...
See, both can't play.
Both can't.
As I understand from this PC.
Both can't. And then with the batting lineup that you need, I don't think you'll play
combination
Kuldeep.
is not possible.
Yeah, I don't think. I think it'll be... You could be right, but it'll be Jadeja, Thakur plus 3 pacers. That is exactly what we went with. Madhav says, still believe Shardul should have been man of the match in that famous Kaaba. True. Man scored that 2 crucial runs, unbelievable 69, and then took 7 wickets in a match. That's unreal. That's true, actually.
I remember WTC final also, you were struggling. Who got the wicket of Steve Smith? And I think second innings 50 as well. Shardul Thakur just miraculously finds a way.
Dhanush, which is the best score made by best cricket analyst? India is not making the semi-final of 2022 or DC. Acha. Dhanush, why? What did you say? India is not making semi-final of T20?
I don't think so. I said that. I don't remember that.
No, they remember. Or DC PBK is winning IPL before RCB. Acha, that we had done.
That I did.
That he maintained till the final also. So which is your favorite quote out of all this? The second one, obviously, because the first you can't remember, so it has to be second. There you got your answer, Dhanush. Deepthi says, since boss is back, it's a one feedback. Very poor. Arey, why did you not do enough of WTC? Huh? Who was this? Thank you, Deepthi, for your feedback. We'll look into it. We will look into it. Apologies. We will be more mindful. Shubham Garg says, any prediction how many times Prince stumps will get castled by banana swing of Vokes? If Gill fails, will we see a day where 30 average guy leading India? Why you like that, Shubham?
He's not a big fan of Shubman Gill because yesterday also.
That's okay. That's okay. But Shubham, we're starting a good series. Send some good vibes, nah, Shubham. Come
Ignore
on.
all those reels you're seeing here of Shubman Gill getting
It's
casted.
such an exciting time for Indian cricket. It's
I'm
make or break time.
Bumrah versus Pope. What if you see his stumps getting castled?
Agreed. I'm actually, the contest to watch out for will be this English batting versus this Indian bowling lineup. What a contest! Really? Yeah. Stokes as well. Yeah, all of them.
Excited to see Stokes a lot.
You know who I think could be the batter
as well,
to
how
watch out for?
He was by Jasprit Bumrah last time. This time that his shoulders really went down and he was beaten so many times, after which he didn't know what to do.
I think the batter to watch out for Harry Brook. I think this series he would want to make this. See, and he's really committed to Test cricket. He's shown that he wants to be committed to Test cricket. Wants to keep playing well. Exactly. Bethel has not made it.
And
to the squad. That just see the reserve of their batting lineup.
Some former player said that maybe Bethel hasn't got that nod because he didn't make himself available.
He went for the IPL.
For the IPL. Somebody, I don't remember who said it.
These things sort of matter in Australia and England.
It maybe does.
We've seen that in the past as well. Stark and all these guys have time and again made themselves unavailable also. Let's not forget.
But again, I don't remember that player also. Somebody called out Hazelwood also that he went for the IPL with and did not prepare
this
for
one.
It wasn't Hayden.
No. It was Mitchell Johnson.
Yeah, Mitchell Johnson. Yes.
But Mitchell Johnson, please take it with a bag full of salt. He quite dislikes the IPL and everything associated with it. So he'll find ways to attack it. And look at Maxwell. Scoring runs like crazy.
He hit 5 sixes recently.
I think he hit some 35 ball remaining.
Everywhere he
90 odd runs he got.
He's everywhere.
Everywhere it'll work for him, not in the IPL.
Barring one season.
Just that
1.5 seasons.
Still people will buy him
back.
for 13, 14, 15 crores.
Okay, Shubham is saying notion that India won't miss Rocco is incorrect. Last Sena win other than Perth, England 2 test, Rohit scored 250, Kohli 186, South Africa win, Kohli 104 out of 220 runs. Sure, but then there is, for everything there is a sell by date now. How long with there was a time that Indian team could not do anything without Sachin Tendulkar. At one point you had to make a transition. Just saying, so how was... Shubham Garg wants to know how my holiday was, how was the place. It was awesome, it wasn't hot at all, it was fun, it was good weather. So I really enjoyed it. Really. I know, I heard Delhi was very hot and then I believe it rained and it's become slightly better here.
It's only been about 72 hours that you've seen some sort of bearable temperature.
No, I was watching the news that it was feeling like 55 degrees here.
Yeah.
Truly was.
You know, all that thing on the phone and all that.
Weather on the beaches was awesome.
About it feels like temperature, which you used to talk about in just day-to-day parlance. First time I saw it make it to the papers as well. Feel like temperature is 50.
Yeah. It was. So I missed it, thankfully. I hope it doesn't come back. It can. Summer's still on.
Yeah, but it's a good week to be in Delhi, they're saying.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, Pranit Datta is saying, why not go for Nitish at 6? Why don't you people count his batting ability? You know, we do. So we said, Pranit, that's a good option. You could go with Nitish just as a batter. Just that he got that nod slightly because of his bowling ability. But now that you've got 5 bowlers, then I really don't need that 6 bowling option is what I was saying. That's why. Otherwise, it's quite a valid batting lineup to go with. That's true. And we count that 100 that he got in Australia. 100%.
Melbourne, yeah.
Yep. Ankit Agarwal has also just sent you guys some love. So send love back to Ankit. Ankit,
Thank you,
hope you're
Thanks a lot.
doing well. Shubham is saying, Nikhil sir, I can't digest the fact that when Pant is present, Gill is captain. It's pure murder of merit. Got dropped one test before. Nathan Lyon got him out via mind game. Shubham, but I agree with you. We discussed this. I think all of us really backed a Pant to be made captain, looking at it. But now I think Indian cricket has made its decision. You like it or not, this is a new era, and so we wish him all the very best. I hope he can flourish as a captain. Maybe you see a better version of him as a batter as well in Test cricket with captaincy. It's happened to a few people. Maybe it happens with him. So look forward to that. Yeah, why not? Because the time for looking at this aspect was there, and we did it while those few weeks leading up to the selection. But now it's been made. So what do you do? Ankit has sent a question this time. He says, I'll play Bumrah at Headingley, Edgbaston and Old Trafford. Enough break and cooler weather. That's actually interesting.
Edgbaston is the second.
No, so
Edgbaston
first,
is
second, fourth.
Yeah. Because
third
there's a
is
lot of fun in
Lords.
the
You're
break.
right. Third is Lords and fifth is Oval.
So fourth. So he's saying first, second, fourth. First, second, fourth he'll play.
Actually, first and second, many people are saying first and second because there's a decent gap in match number 1 and match number 2.
Yeah.
3 and 4 are very close. You look at that 6th of July, second test match ends. Then the third is in just 3 days' time.
Yeah.
Second and third, yeah. But a good 8-day gap over there.
Third and fourth also there is gap.
8 days again.
Since there are so many gaps, maybe we can play 4 test matches. Come on. So make him miss, play 1, 2, right? Miss 3, 4,
Not having Bumrah at Lords.
and 5th.
Travesty.
Maybe they'll play 1, 2, 4th, and depending how the series is, decide on the
Then
5th.
I just hope it's not like that Shubman Gill for everything is just running back to Jasprit Bumrah, because that's what you do when as a captain. If I have Jasprit Bumrah, I'll want to bowl him each over.
No, now I think they would have had some instruction in terms of how to manage his workload. I think they'll have to do it.
Yeah.
Jasprit himself has consulted people who've kind of charted a roadmap for
Do you
him.
see Jasprit Bumrah playing Test cricket after this?
Why not? He should play. See, it'll be entirely his call at the end of the day. If he thinks his batting or his body cannot sustain it, then he has all the rights to pull out. And as an Indian fan, I would want him to play for as long as possible rather than not have him at all. There'll be big enough white ball trophies coming in the future that you'd want to win. So if that is the case, but then maybe decide, as I said, I think he will look at it in a macro manner where maybe very important series he makes himself available for Test cricket as well and the rest for white ball. I think that is what you'll have to do. You'll have to wrap him up in cotton wool. Okay, last few questions before we wind up. Kiran Khatri says series will be 2-2, most runs route, most wickets will be DSP Saab. Wow. Welcome back, Nikhil sir. You've got the streets. Okay, thank you, Kiran. Whatever that means.
Some idiom is it that I'm missing?
Anshu Mishra says, Nikhil sir, 2025 year is worst overall but unique for sports. Worst and blackest day for India. 12 June, Ahmedabad plane crash. That is true.
And then he says, no, the second half.
That took RCB South Africa winning trophy. No, but he's saying that's a good thing for sports. And Pahalgam attack and stampede. So he's saying the year is worst overall but good for sports, like so many different things. He's right, actually. That is true. Ashish Chandelier says, can we see Nitish Reddy instead of Jadeja? Average bowler 43, bat 29 in England with 3 fast bowler. Ooh, no, I think they will play a spinner.
Jadeja, you'll have to.
Jadeja.
Yeah. No, but he says
Also with the
Kuldeep.
bat, yeah,
He's saying because Kuldeep was the turning point. So by that way, if you get Kuldeep
I
and
don't see
Nitish
Kuldeep
Reddy
playing.
both.
Because, or maybe you could play him if
So Nitish Reddy comes in for Jadeja and then Kuldeep comes in for who? For Jurel. But it's the same thing.
Yeah. You just
Playing
Batting
a
is short. Yeah. Batting is short. Okay.
GGK says England bowling is the weakest ever. We'll win 3-1.
Wow.
Bumrah with the ball and Gill with the bat. Gill will have a legendary series.
Remember these. Maybe they're all right. GGK, you're a regular watcher. Will remember this prediction as well for you. That's the
Anderson Tendulkar Trophy.
Oh, lovely. I thought Anderson would make a comeback like he did for his state
He's
side.
playing he's playing T20 cricket.
He came back for
T20
Yorkshire.
Vitality Blast also.
They needed after 12 months retirement, then he comes back to play for Yorkshire.
Then he
I
played
thought
T20
they were.
cricket also.
Then I was like, there's not enough bowlers now. They would have told him, come on. He could have come for this series.
But he was told to step down as well last year. Baz had specially gone from New Zealand. He'd taken a flight, he'd met him. It was a game of golf that he decided to meet him. I wasn't surprised when it happened over a game of golf. And yes, he was told that, listen, boss, you need to hang up your boots.
Batter to
Final.
watch out for, all of you.
I booked Harry Brook.
You?
I mean, Joe Root is an obvious choice. That's why I've gone with Harry Brook.
Highest scorer, watch out for.
One batter to watch out for. Who will?
No, watch out for. Not the highest scorer. Like
Watch out for.
who'll be like the talk of the town.
Shubman Gill.
Good.
Rishabh Pant. I think whenever he's down and out, that's when he
Good
really
selection.
his best comes out. And I think Rishabh Pant, this series will be remembered for Rishabh Pant, is what I feel. Because whenever he's been in absolutely out of form and everybody he says that he's overweight, he's this, he's that, that is when he really proves everybody wrong.
Yeah. Abhishek Rawat is saying, watch out for Jamie Smith, sir. He's a real good batter. I know, but I know he's a young wicketkeeper batter. I was just reading his stories. He's travelled, I think, he's a new dad as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he's travelled with his family.
But they rate him very highly.
Yes, they do.
Very
They do. But I was just looking at his short career where he's not really set the stage on fire, but they rate him very highly. I completely agree. But I'm just looking purely through numbers. Maybe, who knows, he could have a breakthrough series then. He's the one to watch out for. Possible.
Wicketkeeper batter, batting low, troubling India. Alex Carey comes to my mind.
Okay, last two comments. Shubham Garg says in 2021, Kohli played Jadeja ahead of Ashwin, got patched but came back 2-1 leading. Can Gill and GG dare to drop Jadeja and get Kuldeep, the wicket-taking bowler? It's a tough choice, but the batting thing is not, we tried to make the team, it's just not adding up. Otherwise, we would have looked at it. Pranit Datta is saying, my prediction, India wins 3-1 with Jaiswal top scorer. Good shout out, Pranit. Like GGK, he's also gone 3-1 in favour of India.
Exactly.
That just tells you that it can be a series that can go anywhere. Just the fact that all of us are picking different, winners tells you that it is much closer than people anticipated.
Also, there is no clear favourite. What this also tells you. So, in the sense that for you, like you said, 3-1 England looking like the stronger outfit, but so many people, including let's say Sashwat, who's giving India a chance of getting 3 wins. There's so many ways of looking at this whole series. So it's not that easy after all.
Yeah, absolutely. Nashley says that this young Indian team is going to give proper bashing so they can be motivated for Ashes. Nashley.
It's going to be a very good series, I think. New slip cord, new people on the field.
Dipanjan Ghosh wants to know, Nikhil, why Harshit over Anshulla? I mean, I don't know. I wish I could have an explanation for that. I agree that, see, listen, Harshit was ahead of him in Test match cricket. He played. He didn't do anything like majorly wrong in the limited chances that he got in Australia. Harshit, let's be fair to him as well. But in English conditions, Anshul, with the kind of bowler that he is, I would have also gone with him. I think it beats me why they didn't do it. But so be it.
Anyway, that's see, Indian cricket always leaves us disappointed in some manner.
Maybe be in a position that you don't need to go to any other bowlers. Your top 3 guys who we picked only do the job.
Arshdeep.
No, but you'll have
Arshdeep will come when Bumrah goes. No? So done. 3-4 guys will do it. Lord does it for you.
Lord will, definitely. Whenever you need a wicket, you can go to him.
Okay, on that note, we're going to say bye-bye to you guys. Thank you for your company as always. Look forward to you joining us tomorrow ahead of the game. 2:45 we'll be live. 3:30 when the first ball is going to be bowled. We'll be live 45 building up to the game, looking at the 11s, discussing it, decision at the toss, all of it. And then look forward to your company throughout the series. We're going to be live after every break, that is lunch, tea, and then post-match. Another team member?
That.
Of course, we will have a full strength.
Somebody-
Yeah. I thought he's going to tell me something.
I also got confused.
Of course, we'll have a full strength team. Okay. Give us a like, please. Would mean a lot. And look forward to your company.
Also, let us know how the makeup of the
Yeah.
new setup is like. Family members.
It's
na?
done by our
Be
producer
honest.
Shivam. So,
Be honest with us.
bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye, guys.